Now something that you probably have not seen in geometry before. Well, you have seen it in geometry, but it wasn't meant to be very important at the time. And that is derived based on the similar triangle. So the similar triangle is something you see very often later on, and I encourage you to really read through this and really understand this, because this will become backhand knowledge at the end of this class. Often you are giving a triangle with like a 3, 4, 5 side dimensions, and once you see a triangle, you can be sure that this angle here in the bottom corner, this will be a right angle. So that has to be the case because of the length dimension. So if you take a string that is 3 foot long and connect it to a 4 foot long string, and then connect the two with a 5 foot string, automatically this angle here becomes right angled. And now you can say, hey, I have a known force along the 5, or like any other of these lengths, but let's just, for example, say that I have a known force. Let's say this is 10 Newton. All right, if I have 10 Newton along this side, then I can calculate, based on these relations, 5, 3, 4, how much force I have in this direction and how much force I have in this direction. And you don't need to understand this right now, how this applies, but we will apply this over and over and over again in this class. And we will, of course, introduce this properly. But let's say, again, I have 10 newtons here, and it's along the 5 feet distance. Then I can relate the two, right? I can say that the 10 Newton relates to 5 feet just as much as an unknown force to 4 feet. And therefore, I know automatically that my unknown force must be, exactly correct, 8 Newton. And then here I would have 6 Newton. And in this case, it's very obvious, but there are other similar triangles. So this is the 3, 4, 5 triangle. And you can see the equation here, or like at least written out. And then on the next page, you can see how you actually calculate those components. So let's move on to that page. So yeah, here you can see a case where I'm using actually a right triangle in an XY coordinate system. So I have a force, and then I have a force Y component and a force X component. And you can then use that and arrive at the equation that I just, from the back of my hand, showed you on the previous page. And hopefully in 1, 2, 3 weeks, you are able to see these. You don't have to go through these equations here. But this is fundamental knowledge you need to bring to solve engineering mechanics problems. And therefore, you can read all about it here and you know how to apply it. And I guess you are welcome. I wish you good luck with that. All right, I think that concludes this brief lecture and the pre-knowledge. Please read through it so you understand what's ahead of you. But let's go through our checkpoints now.